Hey pros, today I'm going to show you how I was able to save over $5,000 in less than 100 days. Want to see how I did it? Stay tuned. Hey pros, Crystal here from Crystal W Online. So today I want to share with you guys something that I've done a couple times, and I never really thought that it was a thing, but it actually really is a thing. And it's something that I feel like we all could utilize. So you guys know, anytime I'm okay with something, I share it with you guys and then teach you guys how to do it. So over the last year or so, I have been on this budgeting frenzy. And when I say budgeting frenzy, really about budgeting and saving money. Even though I have a business, even though I work, I have a job. Even with being an entrepreneur, you still have to sometimes learn how to save. For me, saving in a bank account for me is great, but let's be honest, you always have access to these bank accounts to the point where I end up having to cancel a couple debit cards so that I did not run into the place where I'm spending money that I shouldn't be spending when I'm trying to save it. Saving is a game because we look at savings like, oh, I'll just do it when I need to. No, you should be saving all the time. And sometimes you have to hide money from yourself to actually be able to say that you have something saved for a rainy day or for a specific purpose. So I started doing what I call boss budgeting and saving. You guys know the word boss for me is everything. So I started doing something called boss budgeting and saving. My first thing that I started doing, number one, was I sat down and I wrote out all of my expenses, which really hurt. I went through my bank account and I looked at everything that I actually spend in a month to see where all of my money that I could be saving was going. Once I figured out that I had an issue with saving money, I said, you know what? I live in a digital world. Everything is about swiping a card, right? Everything is about swiping this card here in the convenience of getting what I need. Swipe, swipe, swipe. So with that being said, I had to kind of come to some realization that I have to learn how to save or even sometimes hide money away from myself. So with the notion that I had to come to some realization that I really was saving, but I'm not really saving. Since finding out that I've been pregnant with Kasim, there's certain things that I wanted to be able to get, but I'm one of those people where I don't like to spend my direct money. Okay. So when I say my direct money, meaning the money that's in my account, I don't like to see the money go down. That's just me. That's how I think. That's my notion. Well, what I came up with was the Boss Budgeting and Savings Challenge. So this challenge basically is I use cash money only. So anytime I get any form of cash, anytime I get change back, I'll throw it into a little purse in my bag, and I'll just keep it in there until I get home and I decide that I'm ready to go ahead and start putting away this money so that ultimately I can save $5,000 within 100 days. That's really the goal. If I can save $5,000 in 100 days, now there's 365 days in a year. I'm pregnant basically 9 months. If I can save $5,000 for every 100 days, that means that I would have saved $15,000 for the entire year, not including the 65 days. But within a year, I should be able to save about $15,000 doing it this way. So the way this, we call it challenge, is designed is that you're basically going to be stuffing envelopes numbered from 1 to 100. And any envelope you draw or whatever envelope you choose, you're going to put that amount of money of whatever that number is. So the notion is after 100 days, if you do this every day for 100 days, you will have saved $5,050. But for me, I either sometimes don't do it every day, or on the days that I do my envelope stuffing, I'll stuff multiple envelopes. So I'm still either beating the 100 days or I'm doing it at my own pace. And I still do have that 65 days. So it gives me about 20 days to play around within that 100 days anyway. So it'll still keep me at saving $15,000 for the year. Now, when I found out I was pregnant with Kasim, I knew that I wanted specific things. I want a specific stroller. I want certain luxuries for him, whatever the case may be. So rather than me having the ultimate goal that I'm going to be saving $5,000 with the ultimate goal of saving $15,000 for the year, I decided to do my 100-day challenge to save enough that I could buy his stroller and any other little luxuries that I wanted to buy, and still have some money left over for me to put away into an account for him. So I'm gonna show you guys how I did this. Okay, so these are our boss budgeting or boss savings envelopes, okay? So basically within this savings challenge, you get 100 of these plastic envelopes. So these are the envelopes that we will number 1 through 100. Now, when I first started doing this, I was using some really, some clear vinyl labels, which is what you guys see. I no longer use those, but I still kept these because I've already done it. So I've done this challenge actually twice already, which is how I was able to do a number of things between vacations, between shopping for just luxury items, whether it be shoes or bags or whatever. You use your savings for whatever you want to use it for. That was my choice. There's no right or wrong way to doing the savings. That is just how I chose to do it, okay? So my envelopes are numbered 1 through 100. And basically what I did was you can go in sequence, you guys, and just literally say, you know, I'm just gonna blindly pick an envelope and then stuff it with whatever that number is. Or you can say, you know what, I think I want to obtain the higher numbers first, or I want to obtain the lower numbers first, and then work my way up. So basically, I did the $100 envelope already. I've done that already. Yeah, I did the $100 envelope. I've done my $21 envelope. I've done my $3 envelope. I just kind of just go through and just stuff them. Once I stuff the envelope, I'll just pull it to the front. So the reason why I decided to film the video now is because I'm kind of at the beginning of this process. So it's easier for me to show you how to do this. And what I do is, like I said, guys, I collect my money in a little pouch in my bag. I don't mess with the little pouch. And then every night I will come home, clear the pouch out, and throw it into my little plastic drawer here for me to have my day of sitting down and stuffing my envelopes. So we're gonna stuff a couple envelopes today. I have actually a ton of ones here. So I like to do this. I separate my money. So I'll put my ones. I have a $2 bill that I've been saving, so I'm gonna use that anyway. I have an old $20 bill that I've been saving. I have another 20, a 10, and 2 5s. So I'm gonna put these over here to the side. I actually put these in a plastic container, one of those little index card containers that I can close it up and put it away. And I never look at this money as money that can be spent because I'm saving it. Hence the reason for the plastic sleeves. All right, so let's pick one of the lower ones because I know that I don't have a lot of the higher numbers right now in my money that's in front of me. So I'm just gonna come down here and I'm gonna stop at like 35 or 53, whatever that is. I try to keep them in order. To be honest, it doesn't even matter. If you're gonna do it randomly, then you just pull the one that you want. So let's stuff the $9 envelope. So I'm gonna take 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And I think this is super exciting. I'm gonna tell you guys why. Because when I'm stuffing my envelopes, I know that I'm working towards a goal. And when I stuff the envelopes and I see that I'm like on track to stuffing, I'm like, do you know that I'm on track to having $5,000 put away? That isn't in my bank account. That's not money that I drew out. It's money that I've either been spending or some like a client paid me with it, whatever the case may be. And you know that when you have cash, cash goes quickly, cash goes first. So instead of me putting that cash out there, whatever change I get back, I throw it in one place and then I go through and I stuff my envelopes. And I get excitement from actually stuffing my envelopes because I know that I'm on a mission to saving money. Let's do one of the other ones. Let's do a $22 envelope. So this one is 22. Now you can do this in a sense of you know, blindly picking an envelope each time and then stuffing it. The highest you can pick an envelope up to is $100. So you know at any given time, you're not going to go past putting away $100. Once you master the $100 or the higher numbers, you know that all the other envelopes that you're stuffing are lower number envelopes. So it's easily obtainable because you're not doing high bulk amounts. So if you know that you like to save in your bank account, you might save $200 a week in your bank account. Out of that $200, I'll draw $100 in ones, fives, tens, and maybe a $20 bill, and I'll stuff my envelopes with it because I know that if that money's sitting in my bank account, I have access to go and use it. When I put them in these envelopes and put it away, I'm saving that money, and I'm saving in two separate places. I'm saving $5,000 in cash one place within 100 days, which is it's aggressive, but it's not super aggressive because you know it's only up to $100 in a day. Once you stuff those big envelopes, you never have to stuff them again within that $100 days. Okay, so that's the $22 one. Let's do a 14. Do a $14. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Also, the good thing about this is, guys, you get change all the time. You get $1 bills, $5 bills, and all you do is throw them in your purse, throw them in your car. As a man, you might just throw it in the glove compartment. You have a ton of ones in your wallet. Use those, you guys. Do you know how easy it is to save money? You'll be surprised how much change you get back on any given day. And it just sits around. So stuff your envelopes. Stuff your envelopes. All right, let's see. I have a 39 here. So let's do a 39. That's 35. 1, 2, 3, 4. So I'm gonna do my 39 envelope. And all you do is just fold it into a fourth. Put it in your envelope. Okay, I love to do the ones because ones give me a lot of playroom. Ones give me a lot of playroom. Let's see, I have a 16, I have a 12, I have an 11. So I have a 5 here, so let's do that. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Now, mind you, this is money that's been sitting around for about a week. This is change that I've gotten from doing different things for over a week. If I find money in my washer, it goes in that drawer. If I find money on the ground, it goes in that drawer. Like, don't ever think that you have to like literally go and draw money to do this. No, this can come from money that you just have laying around all the time. So I'm gonna do my $16. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Ones are the easiest to do because ones give you a lot of play space. Okay, now if you're doing larger numbers, then I wouldn't say use your ones. I'd say to get bigger bills when you know you want to do the larger numbers. Or if you're just randomly picking, then just keep a variety of amounts. Let's see how much I have left here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. So I have $25 here. Let's see what my low envelopes are. So I have a 13 and I have a 12. So I'll go ahead and fill both of those. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And then I know this one is 13. So I'm gonna go ahead and stuff my 13. So I did the ones today. I did a lot of ones today. I didn't do any large numbers like that today. Sometimes I'll draw out $100 and just use that $100 in 20s, 10s, and 5s and do larger numbers. So I know that if I draw $100, I can split that up amongst multiple days. I've been able to achieve the $5,000 goal within less than 100 days because I do multiple envelopes in a day rather than doing one per day, because sometimes that can become tedious. I might do it bi-weekly, one time for the week and I just stuff like $100 at one time and do a bunch of different envelopes. Or when it was time for me to do it, I took $200 out from my savings account that I know I've been taking money from, and I split it up and I did the same thing. Okay, so once I stuff these envelopes, I no longer look at them as envelopes that are usable. I no longer look at them as envelopes that have money available, which is the reason why I like to keep them in a little case so that there's no thought process of me using these envelopes. Okay, I don't go back and count them at all. That's another thing. I do not go back and count my envelopes. Oh, I know I got 100 something. No, the idea of the challenge is to blindly save these envelopes with the money amount in the envelopes, put it away. Within that 100 days, you will have a total of $5,050. So within 100 days of saving or less, if you're super aggressive and you say, you know what, well, I don't want to do 100 days. I want to do 80 days. So you split up these envelopes over 80 days, then you know that you have to fill these envelopes every couple of days. There you go. You'll be able to save $5,050 in less than 100 days. And this is in cash money. When you save that $5,000, you empty these envelopes out. When you filled up all the envelopes, you empty them out. And you start the challenge again. And every time you get money, or every time you have your weekly paycheck and you want to save a certain dollar amount from that money, you now have saved over $5,000 in less than 100 days. So let's say you want to buy a home. Your goal is to do that within 1 year. You can easily save $15,000 in a year indirectly. And not including the money you're saving in your bank accounts or other places. But in cash, you've saved $5,050. So on my crystalwonline.com website, I actually have started the category that's called Boss Budgeting and Savings, where I do have the 100-day challenge envelopes as well as the numbers on there as a kit. And then I also have the Boss Budgeting Beginner Kit. So you'll see both of those on my website if you go to crystalwonline.com. It's also down in the description box, where if you want to be able to do this challenge just like I've been doing it and save yourself over $5,000 in less than 100 days, then you do so. Join me in this challenge. And if I tell you guys, this challenge will change your life because it is indirectly saving. You are saving money every time you get change. You're saving money directly by bringing home that money to say, I'm going to stuff my envelopes today. And you have a plan of meeting a goal. This is it. This is it. Okay. So you guys go check out my website, crystalwonline.com. Join the challenge. Join the 100-day challenge. And see how this can change your entire savings life. It becomes an obsession, you guys, because you're so excited to see that you're stuffing these envelopes and you're almost there. Every time you stuff an envelope, you know that you're on your way to achieving a goal. Some of you can't even save $1,000 in 100 days. So imagine if you were able to save $5,000 in 100 days or even less. Life changing. crystalwonline.com. I'll see everybody later. Peace.